Welcome to the complaints department. These are knives that basically I've got enough issues with where I really don't want to hang on to them anymore, and I'll put them up on eBay, sell them. I'm sure there's going to be some sucker out there who's going to want to buy them. But let me just preface it by saying these aren't all bad knives. There's I don't think there's any such thing really as a bad knife unless you hurt yourself with it. But these are just some issues that I have about them that I'm just not too crazy about. Now somebody else may look at this and go, "Holy crap, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." So beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I just want to get that out of the way. Like I said, it's not a bad knife. There's just certain issues that it has that don't really that I just don't like. So anyway, let's start with the Buck Alpha Dorado. This is a it's a folding knife that it's just a standard. There's no assisted opening. There's no it's not a flipper or anything like that. It's just a standard single bladed pocket knife. And actually it opens very easily. It closes easily. The frame, I'm sorry, it's not a frame lock, it's a liner lock, but it's easy to disengage the lock. Very easy to use. Very pretty knife. I mean, I will give it that. That's for sure. It's got some really beautiful rosewood handles. It's got a real nice mirror polish on the frame. It does come with the sheath, and that's one of the issues I have with it. There is no pocket clip. But the big issue I have with it is, well, when I first got it, I noticed how chunky this thing is. I mean, this is about a ½ inch thick, so that's a pretty thick little package. But when I opened the blade and looked at the blade, look how thin that is. I mean, that is just ridiculously thin for such a chunky knife. And the reason for it is because of the liner lock here. It's taking up a lot of space. And if they were to put a standard size blade like this Surefire Jekyll, I mean, look at the difference in thickness there. This thing is a pretty thin knife. Okay, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. That would have been fine. It would have been just a little bit chunkier. But I think what they did was they're trying to cut corners, it seems like, and almost like making excuses for the knife. They thought, okay, well, how do we lock it into place? Okay, we'll put a liner lock in there. Lockup is pretty decent, but I'm sorry, I just can't get over the thinness of that. I feel like I could snap the thing in two with my fingers. I can't, but you just get that impression. When you have a thick knife like this, you feel like it's going to be a stout blade that's going to come out, and it really isn't. I mean, I love the nice swedge that it has up here. It's got a nice wide hollow grind there. The thumb screw, or the thumb stud, it actually turns a little bit, which is kind of cool. And there's a lot of great features to it. But if they were to somehow make this a frame lock knife instead of having that liner lock in there, they'd be able to put a thicker blade in there. And Buck, I don't know, it seems like they make a lot of thin bladed knives. I mean, the same kind of issue I have with the Buck Rush here. It's a very thin, assisted open knife. Then it's a good looking knife. Like I said, these aren't all bad knives. They're not bad. They just don't meet my standard, I guess. I don't know, trying to find the words for it, but this has like some kind of a coiled spring in there that allows the assisted opening to work, and for safety they have this cam that locks the flipper tab into place. Now, I'm not really huge on assisted opening, but when you have a lightweight, thin blade like that, it would be tough to make it into a flipper without having to actually flick it. So that's probably why they put the assisted opening in there. But the thing that bothers me about it is the cam tab itself. I always worried that, oh man, did I lock that? And when I put it in my pocket, and it's just one of those things where I've pulled it out of my pocket and it was unlocked, and I was like, oh crap, good thing that thing didn't open while it was in my pocket. So just for kind of like safety reasons, I don't really like carrying this all that much anymore. And so, even though the incidences of this thing actually opening in your pocket are probably really super low, I just really don't want to take that kind of a chance with it anymore. And so, welcome to eBay. The third one I have here is the Surefire Jekyll. Now, when I was looking at this originally, I liked their flashlights. I thought they were a bit overpriced, but when I looked at other comparable knives that they had, that had a full titanium side, and this is an aluminum, aircraft aluminum scale here. The blade is 154 cm. It's still really sharp. It's just it's a nice knife in that regard. But when I bought it, I had sold a bunch of production knives that I had amassed over time, and I thought, you know what, I'll sell all those, and then for the money that I get back on those, I'll purchase this. And so that's what I did. I bought it. I carried it for a while, and it met up to most expectations, but the frame lock didn't seem to really always. I mean, I could spine whack this thing, and it would disengage the lock, and I thought, well, shoot, I don't want that, happening while I'm using it, and accidentally unlock it and have the blade close on my hand and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, I don't know about the safety of it was kind of questionable in my regard, in my opinion. The other thing was the detent was, pretty weak as well. I mean, I'd pulled this thing out of my pocket, and the blade would open halfway before I got out of my pocket. So I thought, well, that can't happen. So anyway, it's just these knives, they all have some good solid qualities, but then there are just those little things that just kind of strike me the wrong way, and it just makes me want to get rid of them. Oh, the sheath here. This is the other issue I had. Now, if I was going to carry this thing, and let's say I were going to hop on a motorcycle, or let's say I was riding a horse, or let's say I was going to ride my mountain bike or something, and I'd be on a bumpy trail, this thing will come right out. It just pops right out. So it's kind of worthless as a sheath if you're doing anything active. Now, if you're doing something where you're pretty sedentary, well, that's fine, and it worked just fine if you're just walking along down the street. But if you're going to be doing anything where it's going to bounce around at all, you could lose that knife in a hurry. So anyway, that's the complaints department, and if any of you guys are interested in any one of these knives, just check out eBay sometime. They'll be up there very shortly, and you can experience what I experienced. So have a good one, folks.